go out and take this a little bit more to the streets. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Amoruso?
What he said.
Quiet in the chambers.
We have identified that 64% of the citizens won't pay or pay very little into this plan. Unfortunately, we've looked at, Commissioner Maxwell talked about revenue bonds and assessments. I wish there was a way for everyone to pay equally. Unfortunately, we are where we are. Through larger investments, welcome the new owners of the Gulfstream Hotel. Thank you for seeing the value in Lake Worth and investing. Thank you. We're moving forward. We have a phenomenal staff. We have investment coming in every day. We are moving forward. Unfortunately, we have to fix the problems. Infrastructure is one of our biggest problems. So I think we've answered pretty much everyone's questions. Unfortunately, Tammy Panza left, and John, you answered her questions. The only other one I had on the list was, Pam, can you share with us the election that's actually in August and how that works?
Well, it's not a special election for us. We're piggybacking the county. It's a primary. So the cost to the city will be minimal because they'll pick up the lion's share of this cost.
Okay, thank you. And the only other thing I wanted to suggest to staff when we do our meetings, if staff's going to be there, maybe we could have a couple laptops and actually have Papa available to where the biggest question I get is, I don't know the value of my home. What is it valued at? If staff can actually pull up the address and explain to them exactly what that looks like based on the actual percentage that they're looking at, a taxable value, I think that will help a lot. Because a lot of people, they don't know what their value is, and there's been a lot of numbers thrown around, so if we can actually get true figures and numbers. Thank you.
Thank you. You've all done an excellent job, I think, of answering the questions. I'll just throw in a couple things that weren't mentioned. We had a visions and goals meeting a long time ago. We talked about the roadways. All of us who've lived here for a while have been promised numerous things throughout the course of the years. Oh, we're going to take care of this, and we're going to take care of that, and we're going to have traffic slowdowns, and we're going to have sidewalks, and we're going to fix that road, and we're going to patch in that. I mean, we've heard this stuff before over and over again. We've seen our children get hurt. We've seen people get injured. We've seen all kinds of different things through the courses of the years, with problems in our roadways. This year in particular, we had the rains like you wouldn't believe it. And it was like the measles developed on our streets with the potholes. It was like the oceans opened up and sucked every pothole out of our streets that existed. And it was basically showing us that we had flaws. Fortunately, we had been already discussing the previous master plans and things that happened that have been already proposed for underground and water and sewer, and looked at those plans and really decided, hey, aren't we tired of paving our roads higher than the sidewalks? Aren't we going to look at how to fix the actual road? Because we can't pave it any higher anymore. Or aren't we going to, why did we just put in those new pipes and dig up that road that we just put in that new street or just paved that road 2 months ago? I mean, it's the kind of way things happened around here. We're kind of saying, okay, let's take all of these reports and put them together and really create a comprehensive plan so that we're addressing everything at once. So we're not digging up roads after we just put them in. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that went on here. When we got the potholes and we started looking at the roadways and we had professionals come in to assess the situation, we saw that things hadn't been done correctly. You can't, they weren't, right, Jamie? I mean, there was not enough fill, there was all kinds of issues, which means they're going to fail at some point. We found major drainage issues. John, down by your bed and breakfast. I mean, all kinds of issues that have to be addressed. It's not pretty sitting up. This is nothing to do with us as a commission. This is everything to do about us as a community. You have pride in your community and you want things safe. And everybody, I don't care what district you live in, you deserve the same level of public safety and pride of ownership that anyone else does. Everybody does. That's how I personally feel. And yeah, I'm one of the ones going to be paying for it too. I'm in the same predicament as Commissioner Zerdy here and the money that I put into my house and done it. But it looks like garbage, guys. You complain about it all the time. You say, this doesn't look right, this doesn't look right. We can kick the can down the road another, you can wait till another commission's elected. And they're not gonna wanna do it because it's political suicide to sit up here and ask people to pay more money in taxes. I'm sorry, it stinks to have to do this. But you asked us to do a job. You asked us to be honest about what the situation is in the roadways, and this is the situation. If you don't wanna fund it, don't fund it. You don't wanna vote for it, don't vote for it. But this is what has to be done. You asked for a professional assessment. You said, tell us what's really going on. We got professionals in, we did it, we tell you what's going on. You're sick of the conditions, you're sick of the potholes, sick of the sidewalks, sick of this, sick of the drainage. We have an opportunity to fix it. And we gotta bite the bullet or not bite the bullet. The good news is there are 3 borrowings, and we have been working diligently. You've heard us report up here that we're going to the state, we're going to the feds, we're talking with everybody in the world to try to get other monies. This borrowing doesn't come in one lump sum, it comes in 3 borrowings over time. Of those 3 borrowings, if we get those monies in to do it, we can cancel second borrowing, a third borrowing, whatever else if we get the funds in to do those things, or we can do outside projects on top of that. I mean, the whole thing is basically public safety, the conditions of our roadway. We're talking about, everybody wants to get rid of blight and slum. And I've said this before and I'll say it again while everyone's talking long up here. We have, every department in this city was a house, and every house was missing a foundation. And that foundation was land development regulations. That foundation was code enforcement. That foundation is utilities. That foundation is roads and infrastructure. Those things are all missing. And I'm trying to come in, really, as your mayor, I'm trying to come in and say, listen, let's be honest. Let's look at it. And if you want to fix it, these are the solutions. We looked at assessments. We looked at every other option that we could possibly do. These are the options. Now it's your choice. Now it's your decision. But you can't say you're sick of looking at this and looking at that and dealing with this and dealing with that if you don't want to pay for it. You can't do that. You have to either come together or not. That's okay. You can choose to do whatever it is. I'm not going to play politics on this. You asked me to do a job, and I'm doing that job. You want it fixed? We'll fix it. You don't want it fixed? You don't fix it. But you can't complain about it when it's done. Whatever that is. And we can piecemeal it, we can wait another 10 years, another 20 years, another 40 years, another 50 years. But you can't complain about it, because we're going to get to it when we can find the money. Either way, it's your decision, and it will always be your decision. So I hope you come to the meetings, the district meetings, and I hope you ask all the questions you want. I'm available whenever you want. You want to come meet with me, please come. Make an appointment, come sit down with me and talk about it. If you have other solutions or other ideas, this is the time to talk about it before we put it to the ballot language in June. Get a hold of me right away. Whatever you want to do, get a hold of your commissioners at these district meetings. Ask, offer, whatever. We're in this together, folks. We really, really are. We're in this together. Help us. Help the city. Thanks. City manager, do you have anything else that you want to?
I can't go after that.
All right, do we have anything else to cover? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.